Hey podheads, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure if you're new to the channel that you hit that subscribe button down below, ring the bell for notifications, and give me a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. I'm wearing my pajamas and an old man sweater, so it must be my day off. So today I'm going to talk to you about my day off reading comics. So stick around, let's talk comics. Welcome back to the channel, podheads. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about the day off reading comics that I had. I'm going to do a quick thumbs up, thumbs down review on the books that I read this week and tell you whether or not I think you should read it as well. Before we do that though, I wanted to talk a little bit about another YouTube channel. Most of you will know exactly who I'm talking about when I say Uncanny Omar and Near Mint Condition. I'm bringing up Omar and Near Mint Condition today because yesterday Omar released a new video reporting on his first year as a full-time YouTuber, which some of us aspire to, others of us just already know that we'll never be able to do anything but our regular day job for a living. So it was a fantastic video. I think that this was the most touching video from a member of our community on YouTube that I've ever seen. I cried, and so I just wanted to direct you all. I'll do what I can to put a link in the description or a link tag up here. I don't know if it'll work. I'll see what I can do to try to link you guys to that, but definitely check out Uncanny Omar and Near Mint Condition's channel. I kind of feel like part of the reason he made this video was so that he could quit answering the questions that I keep asking him, but he is such an incredible resource, and if you're not already aware of him or his channel, just know before you even check it out, we don't deserve Omar. Please check out Near Mint Condition's channel and check out all of his fantastic overviews for Marvel and DC and other publishers, collected editions and omnibuses. It's a fantastic channel and is a big part of the reason why I'm sure many of us got into collecting, and even perhaps why some of us do these YouTube things. So please check it out. All right, now without further ado, if you don't know me, I'm Starbuck. I'm the Prince of Dorkness, and today I'm going to talk about the comics that I read over the week. So this will be a quick thumbs up, thumbs down review. I didn't read a lot of new books this week. I think I got like 5 books in my delivery, so we'll talk about those. I read a couple of back issues. We'll talk about those. All right, so let's get started. First things first, we have Wolverine Patch. I was super excited for this book. This is, of course, written by the legendary Larry Hama, Davido, Underwood, and Chang. This book was pretty much what I expected. Take Wolverine Volume 2, drop it in modern day, and that's what you have. It's very similar in writing style to the original Wolverine ongoing series, where I think the first 12 or 14 issues or whatever were done by Larry Hama. If you like Larry Hama and you like this Patch persona of Logan, then I think that you're gonna really like this book. If you're a person that reads Larry Hama and thinks, wow, his writing's kind of boring, this isn't gonna change your mind. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because I'm very nostalgic for Wolverine's Patch persona. I remember when I was 10 to 12 years old, like, this is what we knew. This is how we got to discover and got to learn about the character type and personality of Logan, and that was through Larry Hama's writing in the original Wolverine ongoing series. So definitely, I would say, if this is generally something that you like, you will like it still. If it's generally something you don't like, I would go with your gut. Fantastic book. I really enjoyed it, though. Going up next, we have Superman Action Comics number 1041. This is by Johnson, Eaglesham, and Luridge. So I've been continuing on this Warworld story. I just started 4 or 5 issues ago. I don't know how we got here, but I'm really enjoying the story where we're at now. I feel like it's the kind of Superman book that I like, where there's huge stakes and tribulations and a whole group of people's life and safety depends on the actions of our titular hero, but at the same time, it's a story about hope and survival and overcoming, and I love those types of Superman stories. So, you know, if you're new to Action Comics and you don't know what's going on right now, this probably isn't the best place to jump in, but, you know, if you can catch up or if you can read a couple of back issues, it's a big thumbs up. I'm really loving this Warworld story for Superman in Action Comics. Coming up next, Detective Comics number 1058. This is the wrap-up of the Tower, the final issue of this seemingly up and down story arc in Detective Comics, where the Arkham Asylum has been relocated to downtown in a tower skyscraper. You can only imagine what kind of additional drama that can entail being in such a populated area. But it was a good book. I overall, the 12 issues that came out, I enjoyed them. Beginning dragged on so long that I thought that I was really going to dislike the story as a whole. But at the end, I liked it. I liked the last 3 or 4 issues. It was a lot of fun. The backup story, the one that I've been raving for weeks about, you know, there's this backup story about a child in Gotham that's been kind of going through the system, hates Batman. We've kind of seen all of the different stages of his life that have built up to the conclusion to his story. And let me just say, I was incredibly surprised by the ending of the story. It should have been a No Man's Land story. It just had no hope. And in the end, it was just a bitter damn ending, and I loved it. So, thumbs up for Detective Comics 1058. Make sure that you pick this up. I'm sure eventually it'll come out in a trade with the whole Tower series and whatnot, but definitely check it out. I think it's worth reading, and if nothing else, for the backup stories, which were the best part of the book, hands down. Alright, so coming up next, I have been sleeping on this for a minute, but this is the Human Target. So I got issue number 6? Yeah, issue number 6 with this week's comics, and I haven't been reading it. I haven't picked it up. I wanted to. I'm digging the stuff that's coming out of DC Black Label. I like the artwork style, and I knew that the story was going to be something that was kind of up my alley, but I wasn't sure, and I've just been lazy. So I haven't been reading it. But I got caught up yesterday. I read all of the first 6 issues. And oh my goodness, I can't believe that I waited so long to start this book. If you're not reading Human Target, effectively what it is you have like a dude, which I don't know if he has powers or not. Like, it seems to me that there may be some kind of power situation going on. It also seems to me that the character was created by Len Wein, so it does seem that this is probably an older character that I'm just now discovering for the first time. But I digress. The book is about this character, the Human Target, who is a target. He does exactly what it sounds like. He is a master of disguises and will basically pretend to be you to flesh out an assassination attempt. And okay, so I mean that's a fun story, but it doesn't really take you anywhere. But that being said, he's also a detective of sorts, and in the first gig that you see him play in the book, he is standing in as Lex Luthor to flush out an assassination attempt and ends up being poisoned in a second attempt by someone completely unrelated to the actual assassin that they take down in the first issue. The fun part about the story is that effectively our character, the Human Target, needs to discover who murdered him. So it's a murder investigation where our victim is investigating. It makes it super fun. He has 12 days left to live, so it gives the book a real sense of urgency every time you see what I think is Mr. Chance just kind of fucking off and not doing what he's supposed to be doing. You're like, dude, you've only got 9 days left. Come on, get to work. I'm really enjoying it. It's a big thumbs up. If you haven't started reading it already and you can still go into your LCS and pick up the back issues, definitely do so. If not, and you have to wait till the trade, do that, but definitely read it. It's fun, it's engaging. The artwork kind of reminds me of Thief of Thieves, the Kirkman book, but I'm probably wrong. It's been a long time since I've read it. But I'm really enjoying it. Big thumbs up for Human Target. Alright, so coming up next, we have, this is another back issue. So I hadn't read this one. It's been sitting on the spinner rack there for a couple months. This was the Peacemaker by Garth Ennis one-shot. So anybody who watches the channel knows I'm a huge Garth Ennis fan. Preacher, The Boys, Just a Pilgrim, 303, Jennifer Blood, you name it. I am a Ennis fan. And I don't know much about the Peacemaker character. I've seen the newest Suicide Squad movie. I've watched the first, I think, 4 episodes of the John Cena TV show, which, let's just start there. Okay, so if you've watched the TV show or Suicide Squad, that character is a very campy and satirical look at superheroes. You know, it's definitely a satire. The character is not very bright. He doesn't care much for others and is pretty much antithetical to everything that you would expect a super or hero to be. That being said, I really enjoy that take on the character. I enjoy watching John Cena play the role. I think that in our current political standpoint, many of us can kind of relate to the type of character that he is, and it makes it easy for us to brand him as one thing or another. This book, the Garth Ennis one-shot, this was a Black Label book. It's good. It's really good, but it's not the same. It's not the same Peacemaker. The same characteristics are there, maybe as far as the elements of his character and psyche that are kind of self-centered and nonchalant are still in this book, but it's not jokey. It does not portray him as a dumb character. It portrays him as a driven character with a very secret past. And basically, he's misunderstood. I like the take, although I kind of feel like I like better what they're doing with the kind of satire comedy version of this character. So, all in all, the book is a thumbs up book, but because of the direction the character's going, I surprisingly have to say that this is a thumbs down. I love Garth Ennis. It was written well, but it's not the character that I came to see. I would skip this if you like the jokey Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad or John Cena style stuff. You can go ahead and skip this. You don't need to read it. If you think, wow, I like the guy with the shiny dildo hat, and I kind of want to read something where he's just a serious bad guy, like a tough guy, then you'll like this book. Check it out. Oh, I read a couple of Larry Hama books yesterday. The G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 290. Look, guys, I've said a lot of things about G.I. Joe over the last several issues, and this one continues on without the exception. Effectively, what we've got going on here is IDW has lost the rights to G.I. Joe, or will be soon. I expect that they're going to end it in issue 300 because that seems to be the big lead up that they're doing. In the meantime, the book doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. I had a hard time remembering what happened last time when I picked up this book, and I'm not sure that it really had anything to do with it. I haven't been happy with the way IDW has handled the license for 10 years, so that being said, we're at the end of the run. I don't think you need to read it. I love Larry Hama stuff, but I'm just kind of over G.I. Joe. I'm ready for a new license holder to pick it up. Maybe it'll be Marvel, and we'll get some of those awesome Marvel years omnibuses of A Real American Hero. I would love to see that. Either way, though, I mean, I know Kirkman's the favorite to win it right now, and if he does, I'd be stoked to see what Kirkman does with the rights to G.I. Joe. Definitely skip this one. And our book of the week is going to be Gunslinger Spawn by the Todd Father. Todd McFarlane drew and wrote this one, wrote this one. The art was by Brett Booth. I don't know if you guys can see it with the glare, but this is the coolest cover. We have our Gunslinger Spawn being held up by his long-ass trench coat by the clown, in the clown's fingers as he's eating him, and he's being attacked by all of these little clown violator creature things, which they gave him a name in this and the last issue, and I forget what they're called. A non-fitting name. It's fun. This was absolutely, hands down, the most fun I had reading this week. Just seeing... So this issue fleshed out more of the meeting between Violator and Gunslinger Spawn, as Violator is trying to convince Gunslinger Spawn to basically help him gain the throne in hell. It's a great book. You never think you're gonna see like a demon and a hellspawn have a drinking competition, but it's pretty fantastic. I like the playful nature of the book. I loved the artwork. Booth is doing incredible work, and I think that this is one of McFarlane's best written issues in months. With the last issue, with them leading up to this, with Violator and Gunslinger talking about like kind of a deal, and Gunslinger saying, yeah, like I'm in. I really thought that it changed the way that I read Scorched in the following issue, because Scorched, is the team-up book, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, is this going to be a flash forward? Is Gunslinger going to betray Spawn? This issue clears all that up, and I think it was a lot of fun. So if you're not picking up any image books, pick up Gunslinger Spawn. If there's any image books you should be reading right now, read the Spawn universe. They're fantastic. And Nocterra. Nocterra is good every single month. And before I go, folks, I want to give a special thank you and shout out to all of you, my pod heads out there, pod squad, pod people. Make sure that you're hitting the like button, ringing the bell for notifications so you know when I have new videos coming up. And thank you so much for subscribing. As always, I love you. And remember, when all else fails, take a nap.